If you're a quarterback and you feel like you are stuck at a specific distance on your deep ball, you need to watch this video because sometimes it may not be your mechanics. It may not be your lower body, your core, your hips rotating in the throw. Sometimes you just may lack leg strength, core strength, and explosiveness, which those three things can be worked on in the gym that will directly translate to your arm strength. And that's what we're going to cover in this video. All right, so physically, some things that tie into your throwing motion when you throw is obviously your leg strength, your core strength, and then obviously your explosiveness, right? So many quarterbacks lack that like explosive twitch to their motion where their arm shoots through. They have great twitch from their lower body. They don't have that much twitch from their legs. A lot of quarterbacks lack that, right? So this drill is going to be a great drill. I should say exercise. This exercise is a great exercise to work on that explosion off of your back foot, that weight transfer, that hip firing through, and activating those fast twitch muscle fibers. Because like if I'm trying to throw the ball far, I'm trying to exert all out energy. What does that specifically mean? Like I'm not trying to throw this thing soft if I'm trying to throw it 60 plus yards, right? I'm trying to actually throw this thing as hard as I can, generate as much force as I can. So when we train in the gym as quarterbacks, we have to activate those fast twitch muscle fibers. And this is a great exercise, quarterback specific, that you can do. So what you need is you're going to need a plate like so, and you're going to stand on one foot. Now you want to start with this on your throwing side foot, right? Your throwing side foot is obviously the most important foot. Like if you're a righty, that would be your right foot, but you cannot neglect this on the left side of your body too. If you just do this on the right side, it's going to cause a lot of problems for your game. So we got to make sure we do this on both legs. Now, you're going to start on your right foot. What you're going to do is you're going to hop off of this plate. Now, as soon as you touch the ground, you're going to need a box. You're going to need a bench, whatever the case may be. As soon as your foot lands, you are going to explode up to this bench on a single leg box jump. I'm going to show you how this will look full speed in a second, but this is a great drill to work on. Just, hey, your foot hits the ground, we got to explode. Similar to how when you drop back, your foot hits the ground, we have to be able to explode. So it simulates the exact same type of movement while at the same time also building ankle stability, because when you jump off of this plate, you do not want your heel to hit the ground. You want to be able to explode straight up to this bench without having a flat foot. I recommend doing maybe about anywhere from a 4 to 6 rep range on each specific leg. Like I said, I'll show you how this will look full speed. Now, before I show you this exercise, fellas, if you are a quarterback and would like to train with us this offseason, we are coming out to 15 different cities across the U.S. for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver camps. So check out that very first link in the description below if you guys would like some more information on how you could sign up to train with myself and my staff of coaches. We are coming out to San Francisco, California, Miami, Florida, Las Vegas, Nevada. All 3 of those camps are completely sold out, but then we'll be heading out to Charlotte, North Carolina, Portland, Oregon, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, Chicago, Illinois, Buffalo, New York, Atlanta, Georgia, Houston, Texas, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Detroit, Michigan, Boise, Idaho, and finishing it off in Los Angeles, California. So again, if you guys would like to sign up to train with myself, my staff, check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get back to this video. All right, so this next exercise is going to work on a few things that all quarterbacks need to be able to be, like areas they need to be strong in, areas they need to be able to generate force to increase the distance on their deep throws. So as a quarterback, we obviously need a strong core and a strong lower back. We actually need to have a strong core lower back, but also a stable core and lower back, and that's what this exercise is going to work on. Second thing we obviously need as quarterbacks is a strong base, aka strong legs, because when you drop back, this is something that holds back a lot of quarterbacks. They'll drop back, but they just simply don't have enough strength in their back leg to get them to a mechanically efficient spot. How many of you guys, when you do squats, you have this like knee cave, or maybe you go down fine, then on the way up, your knees cave inward like this? Usually that's from a lack of leg strength and a lack of stability. And as quarterbacks, we never want to have a base. When I sit down, my knees start to cave in, because when your knees start to cave in, guess where your foot is now? It's outside your body frame. So when you go to throw, you're leaving a lot of extra yardage on the table because your back foot and your back hip are trailing behind you when you take a step to throw. And it's all based on that knee cave. I want to be able to sit underneath me, but I want to have some strength here so my shin could stay straight. I take a step to the quarterback and I could bring that hip and back foot through to generate power from my hips. But it starts with the legs. And obviously to be able to rotate on a throw, I need to be able to stand up straight. I need to have a strong posture, a strong base, strong core, strong hips, so I could rotate rather than, maybe slouching forward and not having the best posture, preventing rotation. So this exercise works on all of that. So it is going to be a front squat hold with a barbell. If you don't have a barbell, I recommend doing this with a kettlebell or with a dumbbell and holding it in front of you as well. I'll explain that in a second. But what you're going to do, it's a split squat. So you're going to put your foot on the bench like so. So let's say it's your right foot. You're going to kick out with your left foot. You're going to have the bar in a front squat position. Again, if you don't have a barbell, use a dumbbell or a kettlebell. And you're just going to simply go down. And when you go up, you're going to fight that urge to cave inside. You're going to press your knee outward and try to keep your knee completely straight as we go up and down. Reason why we don't do this with just dumbbells at my side, I'm not saying that's bad, but the front squat element to it, holding the ball here, works on that core strength, that lower back strength to help with stability in the pocket. So I'm going to show you how this drill is going to look full speed. All right, so this next exercise is going to help quarterbacks be able to generate a quicker hip drive and more rotational force from their core on this med ball exercise. So what you're going to do is you need a medicine ball. I recommend with this medicine ball, it kind of depends on your age, your strength level, whatever. This medicine ball is 8 pounds. I recommend if you're like high school or older, you should be going heavier than that. It's just for the sake of the example. But if you're on the younger side of things, you might even want to go less than 8 pounds, like 6 pounds. But we're concerned with firing my hips and firing my core quickly because that's what ties into the throwing sequence. Like let's say I go to throw a pass and I'm trying to throw it deep. I take a short stride, my weight's back, my shoulders are up like a lot of you have heard before. But on the finish of the throw, I don't want to be rotating slow. I want my front hip and my back hip to fire, and that creates twitch. That increases arm speed. That increases rotations on the ball and distance on the ball. So this is a great exercise that you guys can do to help with this. Because remember, if we're stuck at a specific distance on a deep ball, there might be things physically I need to improve on, not just mechanics. We get the question a lot, hey coach, like I feel like I'm doing all the mechanical things right. We watch your videos, we know what to do mechanically, but I still feel like I'm stuck, I'm plateaued. These exercises is what's going to help with that. So what you need is you need a medicine ball here. You're going to start out, front foot's going to be already open. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this medicine ball, you're going to slightly rotate into your back leg, then you're going to fire through and drive your back hip, open up your front hip, and let go of the medicine ball and throw it as explosively as we can off of a wall to a partner or just at a general distance if you don't have a wall to throw this to or you don't want to do it in your house. You probably don't want to put a hole through the wall in your house, right? So I recommend staying in like maybe a 6 to 8 rep range on the right side. Take some time in between each rep to get yourself together. Then I would switch legs and stay in that 6 to 8 rep range on the opposite side. So I'm going to show you how this exercise is going to look full speed. Now, before I show you this exercise, you guys, if you would like a 12-week long quarterback gym workout schedule that you can follow, check out that second link in the description below. It's going to say 12-week QB gym workout plan. It's 12 weeks of different gym exercises specifically for quarterbacks to help your arm strength improve and also to help your overall explosiveness, leg strength, core strength improve so you don't plateau on a deep ball or velocity on the ball. So again, if you guys would like a set workout plan that you can follow, sets and reps, examples of the exercise, check out that second link in the description below. Let's get back to this video. Now, as you've noticed throughout this video, I have not talked about arm strength once when it comes to generating power, explosiveness, and distance on your throws. Now, again, I'd be doing you guys a disservice if I completely neglected the upper body in this video. But honestly, guys, most of your power is generated from your legs, your hips, your core, and your mechanics. Now, a lot of guys lack something in their rotator cuff called rotator cuff mobility and rotator cuff strength, which prevents them from fully activating their hips, their core, and their legs and their throat. Let me explain, because I know those two things sound completely unrelated. But if you have a very, very weak rotator cuff, usually what happens is a lot of quarterbacks, they'll go back with the ball, but because they have a weak rotator cuff, they struggle getting their arm up, they struggle getting their elbow up. Even if you have a lower arm slot, at least your elbow is higher. If you have a higher arm slot, I'm not saying that's bad. It's just usually like both of those require some strength in your rotator cuff. So this is a great exercise you could do to strengthen your rotator cuff. So when you are activating that twitch from your lower body, rotating at your hips, having your core fire through, your arm doesn't trail and the elbow dips low because we physically just can't get it up. So this exercise is going to be called a flex T, and it's going to be a weighted flex T. Now, I would suggest if you are maybe 12 years and younger to not do this with weight. If you are in that 13 to 14 year age range, like 7th grade, grade to maybe freshman or sophomore in high school, I recommend using 2.5-pound dumbbells or plates when you do this exercise. If you're older than that, sophomore and above, I recommend doing 5 pounds, which is what I'm going to show you. But a flex tee is essentially where you're putting your arms at 90 degrees like so. You want to try to squeeze your traps together to have this perfect 90-degree form, and you are just going to walk. So if you don't have a lot of space, you're going to have to walk back and forth when you do this, like kind of what I'm in right now. I'm in my garage gym, so I don't have a lot of space. I maybe have like about, I don't know, maybe 10 yards in here. So if I got 10 yards in here, I got to go up and back 10 yards 4 times because you want to do 40 yards of this per set. So let me explain it to you. So this is going to burn. I'm going to tell you that right now. It is going to burn, especially you guys that have weaker rotator cuffs, but that's a good thing. That's what we're trying to work on. So you're going to hold these 2 plates. You're going to hold your arms up 90 degrees, squeeze your traps together, and you're just going to walk. Now, if you don't feel anything, that is a great sign. That is fantastic that you don't feel anything because that means your rotator cuff is probably pretty mobile and pretty strong. But if you don't feel anything, remember, squeeze your traps together as you walk. So you're just going to hold this 90-degree spot, walk, walk, walk for 40 yards. And I recommend maybe doing like 2 to 3 sets of that specific exercise to strengthen that rotator cuff.